How's it going, everybody? It's me, Batbugs, and I'm here doing a tier list. I'm ranking all of the in-credit scenes from all the MCU movies. I do have a list here pulled up, uh, on fandom, showing, talking about what each one entails because I don't remember that far back. I don't remember that far back. I have a very bad memory, and it's just as a reminder. It'll help me out, but I think obviously we have to put, Iron Man 1 S tier immediately because it started the universe. When Nick Fury came in and said he's trying to get some people together for the Avengers Initiative, that's when you knew things were gonna pop off. And pop off they did. And then I think Incredible Hulk as a follow up was pretty good. Had Tony Stark come in and talking to Thaddeus Ross. He tells him about that team. That's a good follow up. It's not as world breaking as that first one, but it's still really good. Not world breaking necessarily, but world defining. I think Iron Man 2 is up there with Nick Fury. I was debating on it earlier because I was just kind of gonna do this, but I thought, oh, I'll make this video. I was debating, but I think it's an S tier. God damn it, I have to make it the stand here, don't I? Stand. This doesn't really have a Snyder because none of these are necessarily bad. But I'm gonna do um awesome, great. I feel like awesome and great is. So I'm gonna go good, good, decent. I think the last one's gonna be meh because meh. Like I don't think none of the MCU things are like necessarily bad. They're just kind of gonna teeter, and that might make me biased. But I mean, it's my list. If you want to do your own list, you can do your own list. I'm not gonna stop you. I'll probably enjoy your list. I'll watch your list. Do your list. List things, dude. And then purple. That looks awful. It does. All right, we'll do it like this. I'm trying my best here. Green, yellow, orange. None. None's not gonna be like bad. It's just gonna be like gray. And then I have like not applicable, not MCU adjacent, and because this was originally a ranking of the movies, and they for some reason said MCU, but then they put all these movies which are not technically MCU. Like I know, like these Spider-Man appear, like these two, and well, this Spider-Man and this Spider-Man appeared, and this Venom appeared in a Spider-Man movie, but that doesn't retroactively make them MCU pictures. They're Marvel Cinematic Multiverse pictures. They're not MCU pictures. And neither is Morbius, because he hasn't appeared, even though Vulture appeared in. Again, adjacent. Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, I'll allow it, but not, Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. And none of these, as far as we know, except for technically Inhumans, and if you want to be sassy, Daredevil, which, I mean, they're not the same characters. The Daredevil and Kingpin we see in the MCU are not, spoilers by the way, are not the same Daredevil and Kingpin. The Blackagar Boltagon we see is not the same one from Inhumans. They're not the same characters. Alright, anyway. So, back on track here, right? Thor, Selvig finds the Tesseract, Shield facility, he's mind controlled by Loki. That one is decent. It sets up the villain of, I'm gonna put it good because it sets up the villain of Avengers while at the same time telling us that Loki's not dead, because at the end of Thor, we all thought he was dead because he kind of, well, no one thought he was legitimately dead, but he fell off the Rainbow Bridge and everybody was supposed to think he's dead, but then that was the big reveal that he's not, and it was setting him up again. Captain America is a cut down scene from the Avengers. So I'm gonna call it meh because it's technically like while it's an in credit scene, it's technically a scene from another movie. So that's a meh for me. That's a meh for me. This one also is one of those that's going straight up to the top because it sets up Thanos. Three phases of movies are just start right there. It just starts right there at that moment. You know what I mean? That's in the Shawarma scene is not bad either. But that's where it started. That's where the whole Thanos That's where the whole Thanos arc starts, and that's why that's important. That's why that's big. Iron Man 3. After recounting his battles with Aldrich Killian, struggles with post-traumatic stress, Tony realizes Bruce Banner slept through most of the story, thinking nothing of it. Stark begins telling another story, much to Banner's chagrin. That one's fun. I'll put it here because it doesn't really set anything up. It's a fun scene, right? If I were ranking the shawarma scene, it would be higher than it. Like it'd be like in the good because it's a fun scene. It's not supposed to set up anything, but you know what I mean. It's fine for all that Iron Man 3 has. It's fine. Thor: The Dark World. Ugh. Mid-credit scene foreshadowing Guardians of the Galaxy. Sif and Volstagg entrust the Aether to the Collector, unaware that he's planning to track down the remaining Infinity Stones. Okay. While entertaining several colleagues in our London flat, Jane Foster sees a portal open in her balcony and runs outside to find Thor, whom she happily embraces. Meanwhile, a flock of birds attempts to flee from the Frost Beast. I mean, it sets up Guardians, so I'll put it decent. Fun fact about the second in credit scene with Jane Foster: Natalie Portman couldn't be reached to shoot that scene, so that Jane Foster was played by Chris Hemsworth's wife. If you didn't already know, now you know. Captain America: Winter Soldier. In a mid-credit scene foreshadowing Avengers: Age of Ultron, Baron Strucker and List make their way through a facility where the scepter is being studied and approaches a pair of holding cells containing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. That's pretty big for Age of Ultron. There's a second one here. I'm gonna kind of move this up. I'm gonna move this up to awesome for now. A disguised Winter Soldier infiltrates the Captain America exhibit at the Smithsonian Institute and comes across a memorial for Bucky Barnes. That, in a way, feels like it kind of sets up Civil War. So, yeah, I'd say that one's pretty awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy. Pre-credit scene, Groot dances "I Want You Back" by the Draxon 5 as Drax sharpens his two knives, while when Drax turns away, Groot freezes only to continue when Drax looks away. Okay. Taneleer Tavan sits in ruin of his museum as Cosmo walks over and licks his face, prompting Howard the Duck to declare the act was gross. Well, I mean, I've got to put it here because Howard the Duck. I mean, just come on, man. Anyway, no. Howard the Duck is great, and that's probably going to give it some bonus points because I'm a sucker for Howard the Duck. But what was the first one again? I Want You Back. That one's pretty fun. So it's all around fun in credit scenes. I'm gonna put it in good, because it's good. They're good. They're good in credit scenes. They're not world breaking. They're not world shattering. They're good. Mid credit scene foreshadowing Avengers: Infinity War. Thanos grows tired of waiting and with the lack of progress, and in his crusade to obtain the Infinity Stones, dons the Infinity Gauntlet and vows to personally seek out the stones. Fine, I'll do it myself. I'll put that in awesome. It was quick. It was fun. It was memed. Deadpool. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Deadpool have a parody, or was that like a fan made thing? I don't know. Either way, it was a pretty good little quick one. Ant-Man. Foreshadowing Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hank shows Hope an advanced yet unfinished prototype of the Wasp suit, prompting her to state it's about damn time. That one's pretty good. Cut down scene from Civil War. See, if it were just that one, it would be lower because that's just a scene from Civil War, and I remember the scene. It's the one where Bucky has his metal arm in a vice. Is it a vice? He's basically trapped, and he's giving intel to Falcon and Cap. But if it were that one alone, it would be down here as well. But the other one with the suit, that brings it up to at least decent, if not good. Hmm. I'm gonna put it at decent. No, no, it has future ramifications. That's in my mind. Like in my mind, future ramifications means it's at least good. If it's fun enough, it can also be good. Captain America: Civil War. Foreshadowing Black Panther, Steve Rogers watches Bucky Barnes go back into cryostasis, and thanks to T'Challa, whom has granted him asylum in Wakanda until a cure for Barnes' mental programming can be found. That one's really good because we get our first glimpse of Wakanda. Foreshadowing Spider-Man: Homecoming, Peter Parker rests on his bed as Aunt May inquires about his black eye. As soon as she leaves the room, Peter inspects the web shooters and watches as they emit a spider-shaped symbol. That one's also pretty good. I'm gonna put that one in. I'm gonna put that one awesome because we got our first glimpse of Wakanda. In a cut down scene from Thor Ragnarok, that one's gonna bring it. That one's because I know the scene is the one where he's talking to Thor about finding Odin. And if it were just that scene, below. Foreshadowing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, not really. Carl Mordo confronts Jonathan Pangborn and takes away his magic, explaining he's doing so because he could see at long last what's wrong with the world. There are too many sorcerers. That one's pretty good. Even though it didn't really go anywhere, that one was pretty cool. I really like that one. Like that one in credit scene. It set up something, and I really hope that Doctor Strange 3 kind of delivers on that promise, because the second one, with all this multiversal shenanigans, it was a really good movie. It was a really rock solid movie. I just saw it last night, but um, it just kind of skipped over that. Like we never got to see that confrontation. But he said that he vowed to kill him, even though he really didn't. He kind of just walked away, and then he attacked. What's his name? The Pangborn. That was what we saw. But anyway, Guardians 2 has the most by far, so I think it's automatically gonna go like at the very least an awesome. So I'm gonna put it there for now. Let's read all these. In a pre-credit scene, Kraglin tries to use the Yaka arrow, only to run away after accidentally stabbing Drax in the shoulder. That was pretty funny. Uh, Stakar, inspired by Yondu Udanta's sacrifice, brings his wife, Alita, and comrades Martinex, Charlie 27, Krugar, and Mainframe together and propose they reassemble their old team, the original Guardians. A bit of a fact. I don't know if everybody knows this, but I believe it's Mainframe actually. Let me see if I can get to the page without ruining everything I'm looking at here. Yeah, Mainframe was voiced. The little robot head was voiced by Miley Cyrus. Just a little tidbit for you. Foreshadowing Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Aisha tells her chambermaid she's creating a being capable of destroying the Guardians of the Galaxy, deciding to call her creation Adam. That one's a really big one. Peter Quill walks in on an adolescent-sized Groot playing a video game and shows his disgust over the vines Groot's shed all over the room. Groot responds in a mocking tone, further annoying Quill. That one's pretty funny. And the Walker walks away from their informant as he implores them to stay and listen to his adventures. Stan Lee cameo. You know what? For having as many as it did, I'm going to put it up in Stan tier. Also, because one of them is Stan. So, Stan tier. Spider-Man Homecoming has some really good ones. Adrian Toomes encounters Matt Gargan in prison and learns that he has friends looking to kill Spider-Man before being confronted with a rumor about him knowing who the young crime fighter is. Toomes denies knowing Spider-Man's true identity and leaves to see his family. I think that one's a really cool one because it sets up Toomes as a good stand-up guy who while he doesn't want to hurt Spider-Man because for any reason other than he was in his way, right? I get that. I like that. The Captain America one was pretty funny too. Captain America films a public service announcement on the importance of patience and breaks the fourth wall, informing the audience that they waited around for nothing. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny, especially because like I was there and I was waiting and I was like absolutely like, okay, there's gonna be a really big one, and then it was just Captain America saying, "Hey, you wasted your time, bud." That was funny. I think it's around here. It's a good one. Thor Ragnarok. Mid-credit scene foreshadowing Avengers Infinity War. Loki visits Thor in his quarters and asks if going to Earth is a good idea as a large spaceship appears in front of theirs. That is Thanos' ship, and I'm putting that in Stan's here. The Grandmaster attempts to placate the citizens of Sakaar by declaring the revolution a draw. That one's, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Stan's here, Stan's here. Black Panther. In a mid-credit scene, T'Challa travels to the Vienna International Center with Nakia, Okoye, and Ayo to speak before Everett Ross and the United Nations, stating that Wakanda will open its borders and utilize its resources to help the wider world. Shuri visits a convalescing Bucky Barnes, who has awoken from cryostasis, and tells him he has much to learn. That both these are really good. I'm gonna put them in awesome. The first one really sets up what happens in Infinity War when, now that the nation's borders are open. I mean, Captain America already knew, and he could have gone to it, but the borders are open. Now they can go for asylum from Thanos' forces. That sets that up really well, I think at least. Infinity War, foreshadowing Captain Marvel, Nick Fury sends a distress signal to an unidentified individual via pager, as he, Maria Hill, and several Atlanta pedestrians corrode to dust. That one's really good, especially because of the son of being cut off. That one's really good. Ant-Man and the Wasp was also really good. I don't even have to read that one. That was really good. In the mid-credit scene foreshadowing Avengers Endgame, Hank Pym, Hope Van Dyne, and Janet Van Dyne are watching Scott Lang harvest quantum particles when they start to disintegrate due to Thanos' victory, leaving Lang trapped inside the quantum realm. That one, that one shook me in the theater. That was really good. The giant ant continues to play Scott Lang's electronic drum set as the emergency alert system echoes throughout the Lang house. That was also really bittersweet because it's fun. It's the giant ant playing the drum set, but you hear the emergency siren and you know what's happening in the background. Captain Marvel. In a mid-credit scene foreshadowing Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, and James Rhodes are speaking with Bruce Banner about. Isn't this? Well, no, it's not really. It's not really like a scene from that movie. It feels like it could have been cut from Avengers Endgame. Um. Anyway, talking about the transmitter pager when Captain Marvel appears and demands they tell her where Nick Fury is. Inside Nick Fury's office, Goose jumps onto his desk and, following several attempts, regurgitates this Tesseract. Hmm. It was decent. They're decent. I feel like that one's decent. Okay. None. This movie has none. Which, I mean, I respect it for. It was the end of the saga. It did a good job with in the end credit scene. I mean, in the end credits rather, establishing the tone by having the signatures of the Avengers as they basically fade out. Like, no, we still have Thor. He's still doing movies, and we still had a Black Widow movie to look forward to. We still had Hawkeye's show. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it felt like a final chapter. And then you had that, if you really paid attention at the very end, the clinking sound, that sounded like a hammer hitting metal, or like Iron Man building his armor in the beginning. It was really good. It was really well done. But I'm gonna have to put it none because it didn't have an end credit scene. Far From Home. Leading into No Way Home, Peter Parker and Michelle Jones finish their date as Pat Kiernan presents a breaking news bulletin to Parker's honor. Parker's horror. The Daily Bugle editor J. Jonah Jameson releases footage leaked by the late Quentin Beck, in which Beck suggests that Spider-Man murdered him and ordered the deaths of many others. After which he reveals to the world that Parker is Spider-Man. That one was really good. That one, ramifications. I'm gonna put that in stands here. Foreshadowing Secret Invasion, Nick Fury and Maria Hill are revealed to be Talos and Soren in disguise. At Soren's urging, Talos contacts the real Fury, who is commanding a ship crewed by Skrulls, and informs him of the unexpected complications they face in their mission to stop the Elementals. Yeah, that one's also really good. I can't wait to see Secret Invasion to see how that turns out. You know, we're not gonna do the shows because I don't. I mean, I can see if I can find them. I can see if they still show them here. If they do, I'll put them up. Foreshadowing Hawkeye, Yelena Belova visits Natasha Romanoff's graves and received a mission from Valentina Allegra de Fontaine to take down Hawkeye, whom she states is the man responsible for Romanoff's death. That one is good. That one's good. Shang-Chi. In the mid-credit scene, Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers meet with Wong, Shang-Chi, and Katie Chin. I don't know why I had issues there. I'm sorry. Uh, Via hologram to observe the Ten Rings and discuss their origins. Discovering that the rings are sending a message, after Danvers and Banner leave, Wong joins Shang-Chi and Chin in spending the night singing karaoke. That was pretty fun. Foreshadowing the return of the Ten Rings, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Takes her father's spot as the leader of the organization, accompanied by Razor Fist and John John. I don't really remember the movie well enough. I need to watch that again one of these days. Because of the karaoke, I'm gonna put that in good. Eternals. Oh gosh. After the rest of the Eternals were abducted by Erishim the Judge, Makari, Druig, and Thena are adrift in space on the Domo. They encounter Eros, the brother of Thanos, and his troll companion Pip, who knows where the rest of their allies are. I had fun with that, actually. Because I don't know, I like Pip. Pip was fun. I'm going to put that here right now. Decent. Foreshadowing Blade, Dane Whitman reluctantly opens a case containing the ancient enchanted sword. He is suddenly pulled away by an unknown voice. Blade. Again, I'll go up to good. I'll go up to good with that one. Spider-Man No Way Home. The universe displace Eddie Brock drinks at a bar, discussing the Avengers, Thanos, and the Snap with a bartender. Brock and Venom consider finding Spider-Man. However, both of them are suddenly transported back in the universe by Doctor Strange's spell. Unbeknownst to them, a small remnant of the Venom symbiote is left behind on a counter table. That one's really good. That one's really good because I can't wait to see that coming to fruition. I think I'm gonna put it in awesome. Even though we didn't get to see like Spider-Man versus Venom, that's awesome. Doctor Strange, Multiverse Madness. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, go watch the movie. It's on Disney Plus. As he takes a stroll in New York City, Doctor Strange is confronted by Clea about a multiversal incursion that he had caused. She opens the portal to the Dark Dimension, and the two walk into a. He also opens his third eye. The second one is Pizza Papa in New York City 838 stops punching himself in the face as Doctor Strange's spell expires. Overjoyed, he begins laughing, suddenly turning towards the camera to exclaim, "It's over." That was pretty funny. I'm gonna put that in good. At the very least, it was good. Clea's interesting. It's not something like the rest of the movie was hyper than that for me. Like hyper than both those in credit scenes. Bruce Campbell was really good. Bruce Campbell's always really good. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't think I'm gonna do the shows because the shows can have multiple depending on the episode. Yeah, I think I'm good. So, hopefully you enjoyed this this tier list. I forgot the word. Hopefully you enjoyed this tier list. If you did, a like would be appreciated. Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments. Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments regardless, Tell me I'm wrong. But if you did like, comment, subscribe, it helps out the channel. If you want to send a tip my way, links in the bio. If you want to join the Discord, links in the bio. If you want to watch me live on Twitch playing all types of different games. just head over to my Twitch, twitch.tv/batbugs, and hit the follow button. Helps me out immensely. But hope you have a great afternoon, evening, whatever time you happen to be watching, and I'll catch you next time. Later, everybody.